Everybody, I have the wonderful Andrea Morley from Healthy Trucker. How are we doing today, Andrea?
I'm great. How are you, Bruce?
Good, good. So we are going to talk health and nutrition and all those things that are. So before we get, tell us about you. I know you've been on the show a couple times, and everybody knows you in this area. But there's a lot of people who are not from this area. So tell us what you do and your other than Healthy Trucker. What do you do? Your background, that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a nutritionist. I have a degree in nutrition from the University of Guelph, so not too far from where I work now. So I did that several years back, and then after that, I was looking for a job in the industry, and this came up, which worked out kind of perfectly for me because I grew up kind of immersed in the trucking industry. I tell this story a lot because I like to think that it makes me relate to truckers just a little bit more. My dad was a long haul truck driver for years and years and then went on to own a trucking company. And my brother was in the industry with him and is still in the industry today. So I've seen the effect that it had on not only them or my dad specifically, but all of their friends in the industry and my dad's employees, his drivers. So I've definitely had a lot of empathy for truck drivers and just other people in the industry because it is a grueling lifestyle and that can definitely affect anyone's health. So this job kind of just fell perfectly into place, and I've absolutely loved being able to help drivers and staff across the industry improve their health over the past 5 years.
Now, let me ask you a question. I'm not sure if you actually maybe monitored this early in your career, but have you seen a change in health from, let's say, your dad's company days? I don't know how old that was to now. Has there been a change? It doesn't seem to be a change from what I see. Maybe you see something different. So,
I think what we see the most of is that the conversation around health in trucking is a lot more common and a lot larger than it used to be. Back in his days, it wasn't talked about.
no.
It wasn't a priority. Drivers weren't given like the extra attention and care that was needed in order for them to take care of their health. And now everybody's talking about health in trucking, mental health, physical health, how to stay fit, how drivers can eat healthier. It's a really big topic of conversation right now. And I think that's the biggest change that we've seen because in order for us to change anyone's health, we need to talk about it first. And we need to get people aware of what the issue is and aware of how the industry needs to change. That's the biggest change that we've seen. And then we've also seen change coming directly from our results. We know that over the past 5 years, we have helped thousands of drivers improve their health, reduce the need for medications, reduce their weight. They've lost thousands and thousands of pounds. We've also seen drivers lowering their cholesterol and getting more fit and having more energy and being able to return to work more quickly after an accident or after an injury. Those
Yeah.
are the changes that we are seeing. The trucking industry may look unhealthy as a whole still, but if we were to compare, I think we would actually see a change. It's just really hard to study that actual change, you know?
Yeah. Now we're going to talk fitness and nutrition and those kind of things. But one of the things that I just want to bring this up to see if you guys cover this. There's a lot of health issues that drivers are not aware of that affects them directly, and things like not going to the washroom because you're trying to put 10 more miles in before or get through traffic, and
Mhm.
those kind of things are where you really hurt drivers because do you have that kind of information on your website? I know you guys talk a lot about the fitness and the health, the nutrition part, but do you have those spin-off health advice as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, general nutrition and physical activity is going to apply to all drivers as well. So I do try to educate a lot on just general wellness and eating healthier and being more active and how they can do that on the road. But then I do talk a little bit more about the specific things that affect drivers. As you said, like hydration can be an issue for them because they are on the road for such a long time. They can't just drink water whenever they want to because they're going to have to go to the washroom and they're going to have to hold it. So I try to help give them tips that will allow them to kind of make it work for their lifestyle and their schedule. So that means things like if you know you're stopping in half an hour, you chug that bottle of water so that you are ready to go to the washroom when you get to your stop. Little tips like that, or how they can make healthy breakfasts in the truck, how they can be active right inside the bunk of the truck, or even just by stepping outside the truck, parked in between, standing in between two trucks in a parking lot, they can get a good workout in. So I do try to just educate on both general health, as I said, but then also health that is specific to drivers.
Yeah, because I had and he was a driver for a well-known company here in the area, but and a large company, and I had a driver friend who had an incident on his way to Chicago, and I'm not going to say the details because I don't actually know how to pronounce half those words, but it's because he didn't go to the washroom. He used to hold it a lot, and then something happened, and he had to have an operation right away, and he would have died if he had not had this had not it happened when it did, and he got care for it. So there are things that drivers do not understand, and a lot of us are okay. You stop, go to the washroom. I tell my family that they don't even get the option whether they have to go or not. You're going because this is the only time I'm stopping for fuel. So a lot of drivers are like that, but they're not maybe hydrating properly, or they're not, like you said, drinking water because I don't want to stop again in 2 hours, which sometimes that happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a big issue, and hydration is so important no matter what you do for a living, but for drivers in particular because it they tend to not hydrate as much because of that scheduling, and because they tend to choose some of them tend to choose the wrong options for hydration. Maybe they're choosing pop or too many coffees or energy drinks, and we try to bring that focus back to water as much as we can.